Hey, Tom Rabbit! I hope you got this for your recording. Hey, YouTube out there. Tom Rabbit likes to record these. Hey, Tom Rabbit!
The Christian God has add-on attributes, so I don't know why you keep jumping to the Christian God when I'm not even talking about it.
Well,
We have to
that's what
stick
we're
to the subject at hand.
I'll tell
Wait,
you
hold on.
why
We
we're
have to
talking
stick to
about
the
that.
subject at hand
I'll tell you why we're
and
talking
not
about
go
I'll tell you
around to all these
why.
other-
I'll tell you exactly why we're talking about the Christian God, and also why it's completely relevant. It's because you have affirmed
Go ahead.
that either the Christian God exists or no God exists. So there's only one God to talk about, bud, and it's the Christian God.
Again, you're going through all these rabbit holes. We need to stick on the subject at hand.
Ask Darth. Ask Darth. Darth, is it the case that the Christian God exists or no God exists?
Stop talking to Darth. You're talking to me right now, right? This is what I'm talking about.
Tom Rabbit Hole.
Go ahead, Darth. Darth can answer this question.
You make the claim.
Well, what's the topic?
Does the Christian God exist or does no God exist?
Is that the topic?
Yeah.
Is that correct, Ezra?
It is yes, that is correct. But what he's doing is he's being deceitful right now because we're not actually specifically on that by itself. He said the definition of atheist on our terms is that atheism is it's either atheism or Christianity. So atheism is denial of the Christian God only, which is completely ridiculous.
Atheism is the denial of all God concepts.
But you think that either the Christian God exists or no God exists, correct?
That's correct.
So by your lights, if someone doesn't believe in the Christian God, right, or they falsify the Christian God, or they find a contradiction in the Christian God, they will have falsified all God concepts.
No, that you're conflating issues here. Okay, somebody could be a Muslim and reject the concept of the Christian God. That would make
that's by their lights.
Don't overtalk me. Okay. Atheism is not the denial of some gods. Atheism is the denial of all gods. Okay, are we clear?
No.
Yeah, I can read you. Would you like me to read you the Stanford Encyclopedia entry on this?
That doesn't matter because I posed the question to you and it was phrased. I said by your lights. Do you know what that means? Why would you come? Atheism, now you're appealing to someone else's lights.
Atheism is the denial of all gods. Okay.
Sure, that's fine.
It's that simple. An atheist is somebody who denies all gods.
I don't see you. So by your lights, though, if the Christian God is falsified, or there is an incoherency in the concept of the Christian God, it follows that no God exists, correct?
If the Christian God is falsified, then consequently, then nothing could be falsified.
You can answer the question, Darth.
In the Christian worldview, don't be a snide asshole to me. Okay? I'm not one who's a coward and runs away, unlike you.
You literally came in the room. When did I run away?
Let him answer the question. Go ahead, Darth.
Every single time I have approached you. Okay, would somebody mute? Thank you. Every time I have encountered you on other servers within the last year or so, you have literally ran away. Every time.
My turn to talk? Is it my turn to talk?
Okay. Now let's get back to the subject, and let's avoid.
Well, you're not going to let me address it. I think it's fair to let me address it.
I'm more than willing to let you speak. I'm not the one who's being an a-hole.
Just tell me when I can speak, then.
Go ahead.
Right. So, a lot of times in the past, where I've been in the same room as you, I've been recording, and
whoa, wait a minute. You're recording me? Really?
In those cases, however, you saw me.
I am shocked.
Anyways, in those cases, you actually saw me and you actually knew that I was there. So it doesn't really, you don't really have to stretch the imagination to wonder why I wouldn't really go around engaging you when I was recording you and I wanted to keep recording you. Because inevitably, any conversation with you is probably going to end with me being banned.
I guess you know yourself better than others do that you would get banned. I ban people because they're assholes. But I'm talking about on other servers where I had no mod powers whatsoever. Every time I've encountered you on other servers, you have always run.
If you don't have mod powers, it's not going to really be any kind of meaningful distinction when you just have mod powers by proxy. In other words, like when we were in CCs and you didn't have mod powers and you say, hey, look, everyone, I don't have mod powers. But then you said, CC mute him, and he did. That's just de facto.
Okay.
That's just de facto mod powers.
Appealing to an outlier does not let you escape the fact that you have run every time I have encountered you on numerous
go
other
ahead and
servers.
prove it then. Prove it then.
Okay. Yeah. Listen, you know what? You are a teenager trapped in a child's body. Okay. You're lying right to my face. Right. That shows you what a scumbag you are.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't care whether I don't care whether there's other people in the room. I would say exactly the same thing. You are a damn liar.
Okay. Oh. And you also say that I steal your content. How do I steal your content, Darth?
By recording my material. Okay.
Well, what makes
by recording my debates, because it's my debate. Okay. And because you can't really draw an audience to your YouTube channel without me. And you're also a scumbag because you put clickbait titles on there that are not really germane to what goes on, which shows you what an immature little scumbag you are.
Let me read you my titles. Okay. Let's see. Darth Dawkins versus Grimm.
I'd like to continue
Darth
our discussion.
Versus B33.
There are so many videos.
Darth Dawkins asked to consider self-reflect. I'm just reading them.
Let's get back to
Tom, Danny, and John. Jefferson.
Hey, listen, little man, little boy. Let's get back to the discussion.
Look, when you make an accusation, I think it's only fair that I have a chance to respond.
That doesn't mean that every title is clickbait, but you've done more than enough clickbait titles to have that accusation fit. Now, instead of distracting everyone in the room, let's get back to the discussion about atheism.
In order to make the generalization fit, it would have to be a generalization, and I think it's the minority.
Okay, Tom, little man, okay? Stop running away from the discussion, okay?
Why do you have to be so insulting all the time?
I'm not here, okay? Now, because he is a little man, it's an accurate reference. Now,
okay, let's get back to the discussion, Darth.
Are you an atheist?
By your lights, yes.
Okay.
You want an argument for why atheism
is
true?
Are you an atheist under the definition published by the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy?
I'll just adopt your definition of atheist. I'm an atheist, Darth.
Okay. How is it that God does not exist?
Right. Well, I'll tell you exactly why. If God exists, then I know that God exists. I don't know that God exists. Conclusion: God does not exist.
Okay.
By your lights. By your lights.
That doesn't follow then that there are no gods.
It does. Because under your lights, either the Christian God exists or no God exists.
You're not understanding, okay? Atheism is the denial of all gods, not some gods.
Okay? I said by your lights.
Okay, well, that's not answering my question. Okay. Now, I want to know from your point of view how there is no ultimate creator God. Now, you're making the claim that if there was a God, then you would necessarily know him. Okay.
Now, no, the Christian God by your lights.
Okay, Tom, listen, you need to focus. Okay. Right now, I'll be glad to discuss with you, debate and defend the Christian God. But right now, we're discussing your atheism. Okay. So you need to stay focused. Now,
it's amazing how
your position. Yeah, who's catcalling here? Can we?
You'll never get there. You'll never let it get there.
Can we remove these trolls, please?
Why does he control the room?
Okay, can we remove the trolls and the catcallers, please? Blackout. Thank you.
No, but we're trying to mod it.
Okay. Now, you're doing classically what atheists do in their deceptions, bait and switch. Now, your position is that there is no God, okay? Now, Is it your position that if any creator God exists, then you would necessarily know him? Is that your position?
My argument is custom tailored to your concept of the creator.
No, if I were dead, if I was dead, would you still be an atheist?
Under your definitions,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, your defense of atheism, it is not dependent on what I believe. So explain to me how there is no ultimate creator God.
I'm giving you an argument that is an internal critique of your view. I don't know what possibly
what I believe. You see, this is childish what you are doing, and it's embarrassing for you. Okay. Now, your defense of atheism, okay, does not depend and hinge upon what I believe.
Right. It does under your lights, though.
Okay, Tom, listen. This is why I call you a man-child. Your defense that there are no gods does not hinge or depend.
I actually don't make that claim, but I'm adopting your definition. Right?
Okay, Tom, one more time. Listen, are you going to act like a grown man, or are you just going to act like a teenager? Your defense that there are no gods, okay, does not hinge at all on what I believe.
Under your concept,
are we clear? Okay, that were there atheists before I was born?
If it doesn't hinge on what you believe, I guess there's no point in asking me any questions because you won't have proven.
But I'd like to know. You see, you're proving my point that
why don't you just engage with the argument?
You're choosing the coward's way out. I'm asking you for how is it that there is.
I gave you an argument. It's an internal critique of your view. If there's a contradiction there, just let me know.
You're wasting our time, and you have totally wimped out. Okay, one more time.
Presented an argument.
Is English your first language, Tom?
Yeah.
Okay, listen carefully. Your defense that there is no God does not hinge nor depend upon what I believe.
Look.
Now, how many times have you heard me say that?
Many.
Okay. Now, how is it? Okay. It's irrelevant what I believe at this juncture. Okay. I'm asking you what you believe. How is it that there is no God?
Under my belief, I don't think that there are all God concepts are false.
Okay. Atheism is the disbelief and denial, either directly or indirectly, of all gods. Okay. Are you an atheist under that definition?
No.
Okay. So then do you categorize yourself under the
for example, my dear friend JJ is he calls himself a pantheist, and what he means by that is that the universe is God.
So you're not an so you're not an atheist under the Stanford definition of atheism then.
That they reject all God concepts.
Okay, so do you disbelieve and deny some God concepts or all?
Some.
Some. Okay.
Yeah.
So, do you believe in any God concepts?
Yeah. For example, the concept of the universe being God, and I believe in the universe. So that concept would be something that I believe.
So you're a pantheist?
No, by that person, when that person says that they think that they're a pantheist, they just mean that they believe in the universe. I also believe in the universe.
Okay. Well, when we say God in the Western world, we're usually referencing that which is the ground of all being and is a mind. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe that?
That's a very common trait of God concepts, but it's absolutely not exclusive.
Okay. You didn't answer my question.
I believe it's part of some concepts, not all.
Okay. You didn't answer. Okay. That's the second time you didn't answer it. Do you need me to repeat the question that you dodged twice?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. When you say the universe is God, okay, you're saying the totality of everything.
I don't say
God. Okay. What is your position then?
I'm saying that is a concept of God.
Okay, Tom, stop bullshitting like a little child. What is your position?
I think it's been pretty clear. Can we just get back to the actual argument?
No,
Actually,
it's
you
not
always
clear.
say atheists won't give an argument for God.
Do you think you're fooling anyone in the room right now? I mean, this is embarrassing for you right now.
It's embarrassing. That
even I'm embarrassed. I'm even embarrassed for you that your performance is so pathetic. Now, you said you're an atheist. Okay,
I presented an argument for
non-existence
of any God by your own lights.
Okay, Tom, are you an atheist?
When can I talk, bro?
Deny all God concepts, or do you merely withhold belief?
I think that Alex Malpass did it very well, and he says that atheism is pretty much going to apply to specific concepts. And if you've read his paper, which I think you have, Darth, right? His little blog, he says it's completely fine and it makes perfectly rational sense to be atheistic towards certain God concepts and not to others.
Yeah, that's a canard.
Just like how
you're abusing the English language, okay?
Just like how you're a theist, but you don't believe in all God concepts, you believe in a specific God concept.
Okay, what you just uttered is the typical canard called being atheistic, okay? Disbelieving in some gods is not atheism, okay?
I don't even know all concepts of gods. Okay. How could I
all the concepts that you are acquainted with, okay? Atheism is the denial of either all God concepts or all the ones that you are acquainted with, okay? Now, you keep on flipping and flopping.
Does it say that in the SCP?
This is embarrassing. I mean, I'm even shocked at how badly you're actually doing here. I get a better performance out of 15-year-old atheist than I'm getting from you right now.
Darth, the only thing that's embarrassing is that I presented you an internal critique, which was an argument against your Christian God, and if it goes through, it falsifies all gods, and you have yet. What is the bait and switch? The whole thing is about the Christian God.
This is what you see. This is exactly why I told you that only after several encounters where you conduct yourself like an adult would I debate you on modern day debates, because you're proving my point right now. It's because you're just talking.
Let me know when I could talk.
The majority of time, you're just talking past me. You're not talking to or with me. Now, do you deny that any God exists?
I've engaged you long enough. I'd like you to answer my argument that I presented you.
I presented you an
argument. I like everyone in the room to know.
I'm going to repeat the
Darth
question
is constantly saying, why won't people engage him? Here I come in. I do an internal critique of Darth's worldview. I present an argument custom tailored to Darth, which will necessarily show that not only that no gods exist, but the Christian God does not exist. And I want everyone here to remember, and to you can listen to this over and over and over. I've presented Darth an argument that shows that the Christian God is not true. Not only that no gods are true, by his own lights, and he will not engage me.
Are you finished?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to repeat the question that you have steadfastly refused to answer. Okay. As you call yourself an atheist, as an atheist, is it your position that no ultimate
I don't want to talk about definitions, man.
Okay. Okay. I asked you a question about your position.
Look, there's one thing that you need to know, Darth, about me, is that you trying to impose some sort of normative demand and thinking that you leaning on me or asking the question again is going to have any kind of normative demand on me to feel like I ought do anything, you're mistaken.
Are you done?
When I finish speaking, that's your cue to talk.
Are you done? Do you deny that or do you affirm that there are no ultimate creator gods?
Once again, I'd like to point out that Darth still refuses to engage with an argument. He'll sit here in this room for hours on end saying, why isn't any atheist proving their atheism. Why won't any atheist come in here and argue for their atheism? Why are the atheists all afraid? And I've come in here, I've adopted Darth's definition, right? To try and avoid all this, but Darth only wants to get stuck in the minutia and the semantics of this, right? I've come in here, I presented him an internal critique, which is the only critique we should care about, right? Not an external critique. I've given him an internal critique, an argument. I have provided an argument, not rhetoric, not whataboutisms, not any of that. I presented him an argument, and he's deathly afraid of it, and instead he wants to talk about semantics. So anyone who's in here, take note and remember this. And this will be played many, 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 many times, I'm sure. Since Darth has a problem with social cues, Darth, I'm done. Go ahead.
Do you deny that any creator God, ultimate creator God, exists?
Darth, I don't know how many times I have to tell you this, but I know that you like to do this to other people, and you think that you just repeating yourself over and over is going to somehow get you what you want. And a lot of people will acquiesce to you, right, to your pressure. They will actually maybe just say something they don't even believe maybe, or just give you an answer, right? But I don't know how much more clear I need to be. You impose zero normative demand on me, period.
So what I'm hearing is that you're a clown.
Okay. You call yourself an atheist, okay?
I don't, actually.
Under atheism, do you deny that any ultimate eternal creator God exists?
Yeah, I'm still waiting for you to address my argument.
I'm waiting for an answer to that simple question clarifying what your atheism is.
Yep, and I'm waiting for you to address my argument. Why would you?
I'll be glad. I will be glad to address whatever questions you want to pose to me about my worldview.
Every time I've heard you've booted me or banned me before that.
I'm asking you. I want to make it clear that when I'm talking to somebody, okay, when they start making assertions, from what model of reality or worldview that those propositions are emanating from. So I'm waiting to find out from you. I don't know what your position is now. So as you call yourself an atheist, do you deny that any creator, ultimate God exists?
I gave you an argument, Garth.
Do you deny that any ultimate creator God exists?
Let me just point out the other tactic that was used. The other tactic Darth used is something, when you ask him a question, what Darth will do is he'll say, I'd be happy to get to that, but first, I need you to answer my question. And you can go through my videos over and over, and you'll guess what never happens. He never gets to that. So if he ever says that to you, don't trust him. Don't trust him.
Do you deny that any ultimate creator God exists or not?
Darth, do you think that one of the necessary properties of the God of Christianity was that he created the universe?
Okay. I will be more than happy to ask to answer questions about my worldview. I have people questioning me all the time, asking me questions about my worldview, and I'm not shy or bashful, nor do I run away from defending the Christian worldview. I'll be more than happy to explain and defend my Christian worldview with you. But I want to know what your position is when you are conversing with me. Okay.
Well, as
so
you
when
pointed
you call
out,
yourself when you call yourself an atheist, does that mean that you deny that any ultimate creator God exists?
Yeah, you just used the actual trick that I just spoke about. But you also said earlier that whatever you believe, and if you're not here, if you're gone, it doesn't change or falsify anything, right? So whatever you're planning on asking me, whatever it is that you want to know about semantics and definitions, it's not going to matter, right? By your own lights. Now, what does matter is that I presented you an argument. And if you don't have a defeater for the argument, it follows that the Christian God's not true. So are you in the business of defending the Christian God?
Ken, you made an argument to me?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Doesn't our argument require that it emanate or derive from a worldview?
I mean, I guess, but the point is that we both think that.
What is your worldview out of which your propositional content and argument derives and depends upon?
This can also be sidestepped because you believe that I can reason, and I believe that I can reason. Okay. There's actually no point in going into this because it's something that we both agree to. So you bringing this up would just be an attempt to just nuke the conversation, right? But the thing is, think about it. If you were an honest interlocutor and you believe that I can reason, why would you question me about reasoning, right? You would just address the reasoning. The only thing that differs is that you think God accounts for reasoning. But that has nothing to do with the fact that I, by your own lights, can reason and am reasoning and reason to an argument which you still have failed to address. So go ahead.
How do you account for reason?
What does that matter? You believe I can reason. Darth, you believe I can reason. Darth, do you believe I can reason?
Okay. I'm still waiting for an unanswered question. An unanswered question. Why are you ever talking to me?
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
So far, it seems that you're not as bold as you want to pretend that you are. We can't get a clear definition or an unpacking as to what your atheism constitutes. You've been asked over and over and over and over again. Does your atheism constitute? Why are you over talking me? You've been asked over and over and over again to give a basic definition or an explanation as to what your worldview is. Okay, I've asked you over and over again. Do you deny that any and all creator God concepts exist? And all you're simply doing is filibustering nonstop. Then in your filibustering, it's quite obvious to everyone in the room. Okay. And I'll be honest with you. Even I did not even imagine how pathetic your performance would be until today. Now, you said you made an argument that presupposes that that there are metaphysical grounds for reason. What are they?
What does it matter? You believe I can reason.
Okay. It's irrelevant. It is not relevant what I believe in order for you to answer that question.
And it's not relevant if you have an argument.
Okay. If you have an argument against the Christian God, if you have an argument for anything that matter, okay, then your model of reality must provide for it. Does it?
I want everyone in the room to know, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to expose Darth's rhetoric to everyone in this room. And even you people that are on Darth's sides, listen to this, right? This is a very simple question. It's a very honest question. And him not answering could only be described as prevarication and being evasive. Darth, do you think I can reason?
Okay. How does your worldview provide for reason?
Answer the fucking question.
There you go.
I've asked you to explain your atheism.
You see,
you refuse to do so. You then would somebody mute these hecklers, please?
So if Darth actually thinks that I can reason, why would he question about?
I'm not done yet. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now, all you're simply doing is you're trolling and you're filibustering, and it makes you look exceedingly bad. Okay. This is not just rhetoric. I'm not just saying this as a tactic. You are looking unbelievably bad right now. Now, you won't explain what your atheism is, and then you say you have an argument. Okay? How can you have an argument about anything without preconditions or a model of reality? How are you able to reason?
By your own lights, I can reason, and by your own lights,
it doesn't matter.
By your own lights, you can analyze the argument.
If I were to have a massive heart attack in the next 30 seconds and I died, would you be able to explain how you could reason?
Would mean dropping dead mean that I don't have a reason from
what I believe is not germane. You explaining.
Well, then why are you talking about what I believe?
Why are you over talking me? Okay. See, this could have all been resolved within 60 seconds, but you don't want to answer. Okay. Because you're actually embarrassed about your atheism. I simply asked you, what is your atheism? Do you deny all gods? You have steadfastly refused to answer the question over and over and over again.
No, I didn't. I've answered
and then you said,
times.
okay, one more time. Do you deny that any and all ultimate creator God exist?
Let's see. I have another question I wrote down here. The question is, before you once said, if there was a missing chapter in the Bible, would you be able to know?
I'm still waiting for an answer to the question.
And your answer was no, surprisingly. Okay. You said no, which means that how do you know?
So you're not going to explain what your atheism is.
It means that it's possible by your own lights that there's possibly a missing chapter in the Bible, and that chapter might contradict something that you think is true and cannot be untrue.
Now, I'm well known for explaining what my worldview is. My worldview is the Christian worldview.
Well, that's not being demonstrated here.
Why are you over talking me? So I think you and most other people who listen to me know full well what I believe about the existence of God, what I believe about the properties and characteristics of God, and what I believe how and why about the Christian worldview. I've been abundantly clear about this every single day for years on Discord. Okay. Yeah. Now, when I talk with
when
people,
I'm in the room,
I want to know. Okay, would you not overtalk me, please? Now, there's no doubt in your mind as to what my basic worldview is and beliefs. What I'm trying to get out of you is, what is your worldview so that we can proceed with the conversation? Okay. You said you're an atheist, but I don't know what you mean by that. Okay.
I mean, now, isn't the whole
by your atheism, do you deny any and all creator gods or not?
Yeah, I deny the Christian God. That's why I gave an argument.
Okay. I didn't ask you that question.
You said, do I deny any God concepts? My answer was yes, and then qualified it by explaining that I deny the Christian God. That was 100% an answer to your question.
Okay. Do you deny any and all gods?
Yes, I deny the Christian God is one of them. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't. Okay. Is that yes? You deny all creator God concepts?
No. You need to focus, Darth. Okay. Focus. Listen carefully.
Yeah. Doing a parody of me.
Oh, was it? Oh, sorry. No, I'm sorry.
I mean, this is how immature you are as a grown man.
What, presenting arguments?
I don't say these things as a matter of rhetoric. I say these things because out of conviction about my interlocutors, because I believe they're true. It's not for the purposes of entertainment or smearing people.
It's
but
interesting
you want to do a parody of me, just for shits and giggles. Now, no. I want to know from you. Okay, it's very simple. This could have been resolved in 30 seconds. Okay, as an atheist, do you deny all creator, ultimate God concepts?
It's really interesting how presenting internal critiques and actually taking on a burden of proof, right, as what Darth would call an atheist, actually taking on that burden of proof and presenting arguments, right, putting myself out there is a sign of Darth, of immaturity. Remarkable.
Do you deny all creator God concepts?
Do you want to address the argument, Darth?
Okay. Do you deny all creator God concepts?
Darth, do you remember what I told you about normative demands?
Tom, do you deny all creator God concepts?
Why won't you engage with the argument?
Okay. Tom, do you deny all creator God concepts?
Darth, I don't know how many times I have to say this, and I'll say it again. Your shtick, where you just repeat the same question like you've literally kill screened, I feel zero normative demand to do anything that you say, and that's not going to change, okay? Are you clear on that?
I'm still waiting for clarification as to what your position is.
I'm still waiting for a defeater to the argument to what you think is the greatest,
so you're not going
important question in the world.
So you refuse to tell me what your position is.
Oh, Baba.
What? You see, Darth, here's what I don't understand.
Do you refuse to explain to me what your worldview is?
You call actually my worldview is an entailment to the argument I gave you, right? But here's what's really funny.
Do you know what my worldview is?
Yeah, you're a fundamentalist Christian. You believe in the God of Christianity.
Now, could you explain to me, does your worldview constitute that there is no ultimate creator God?
I'm just waiting for the argument, man.
All I want to know is what your worldview is so we can proceed.
So let me get this straight. What you want to know is something about definitions and semantics, and not what you yourself proclaim to be the most important question to the entirety of humanity. I've given you an argument that is custom tailored to your own worldview. It is an internal critique of your view. And instead of addressing this argument, which supposedly addresses the most important question in humanity ever, period, the only question, you want to talk about definitions.
Okay.
Is that correct?
Since you refuse to tell me what your worldview is, but you said you're an atheist, I will just simply have to assume that you deny all creator God concepts until you tell me otherwise. Okay?
I mean, like,
now we're 20 minutes, 30 minutes into this, where you've steadfastly refused to tell me what your atheism is. So I can only assume that it's what atheism has classically meant, that it means that you deny all God concepts, unless you want to tell me that you merely are undecided and withhold belief in a creator God concept. So now we can proceed that you do deny all creator God concepts. Okay.
Right. And
so can we proceed? Yeah, can we proceed now?
Can I respond now?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. For everyone who is listening, this is another tactic by Darth, right? This is just a bait, right? So he just repeatedly asked the question 20 plus times. It didn't work because I feel zero demand on myself to answer any of his questions simply because it repeats itself.
This is filibuster.
No, it's not. I was told I could respond. Thank you for muting him. Now, lost my train of thought. Now what he did in an attempt to get me to engage with him, because this is all he wants to talk about is definitions and semantics, he's knowingly strawmanned me, hoping that he would bait me into correcting his position and then therefore answering his question.
How did I strawman you?
You just assumed something that not only have I not said, I have affirmed the opposite if you were listening, but you just laid out my position.
You affirmed the opposite of denying all God concepts?
Here's what I want you to do, Darth. Listen back to this recording.
Oh, this is getting pointless. This is exactly what I predicted on numerous occasions would transpire.
It's funny that you would say this is getting pointless because I presented you with an argument to what you, by your own light, say is the most important question in humankind.
How do you ground any premise in your arguments?
What would that matter? You think I can reason, Darth? Why would that matter?
In order to have an argument, you're going to have to establish the premises. Okay? Can you do that?
Yeah. You want to talk about the argument now?
Yeah. Give me your premises and tell me how you establish them.
Cool. Finally. Jeez. Okay.
But I'm going under the situation that you deny all God concepts because you have not objected to that.
Well, I've agreed to your premise that either the Christian God exists or no God exists.
Okay, so you are a classical atheist, then you do deny that God exists. Okay, so
I don't know how you got that, because I said that I'm agreeing to your framework.
How is it that any premise is ultimately grounded?
Doesn't matter. You think I can reason.
Okay.
This is an internal critique. Hey, Darth, do you know what an internal critique is? This is an internal critique.
Now,
it's you have grounding. This is opposed to you.
Have you grounded any of the premises?
It's an internal critique.
Okay. Is your argument valid and sound?
Yeah, I think it is.
Does that include?
By the way, sound means that
premises been established? Have you established your premises?
You want me to? We can go through it.
Have you done so?
Yeah.
I haven't heard you establish any premises.
I gave an entire argument.
Okay.
In the form of modus tollens.
What are the premises of your argument?
Do you know what modus tollens is? Maybe you don't.
What are the premises of your argument?
Maybe you're not maybe you're not. Do you know?
What are the premises of your arguments?
Okay, I'll go over it for you. Premise 1. You tell me which one you don't agree with. Okay. Premise 1. Either the Christian God exists or no God exists.
Okay.
Is that a yes, Darth? I didn't hear you. Can you speak up?
And is that based upon what? Laws of logic?
Do you agree with that or not?
Okay. Okay.
This is an internal critique, so it just matters if you agree with it.
I want to know how you ground that. Okay?
It doesn't matter. It's an internal critique. It's an internal critique, Darth.
Is this a disjunction or is this a true dichotomy?
Neither.
Which is it?
To that premise? Well, you think
you said either the Christian God exists or he doesn't.
You think that this is true.
It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant what I think at this point.
No, it matters. No, it does matter because I'm presenting the argument to you, right? I wouldn't if you're not a Calvinist. I wouldn't present you with the problem of the evil or something.
In that premise, are you giving us the law of excluded middle?
Well, you can actually. You're the one who can answer this, right? Do you think it's possible that if the Christian God...
When you say either the Christian God exists or does not exist...
No, I'm quoting you.
Are you putting in values for the law of excluded middle?
You present it as a dichotomy.
Yeah. Tom, this is a waste of time. Okay.
Or here's your alternative, Darth, right? You could say that either the...
Tom,
you could say either...
shtick.
You could say either the Christian God exists,
yeah, this is a waste
or possibly of time, some other God exists. Do you want to say that, okay. Darth?
Okay,
Darth,
Tom,
do you want to say that?
This is a waste of time. Okay,
I thought you wanted to.
I don't think they give out Emmy acting awards for atheist performances. You're wasting our time. You're wasting my time.
Darth, are you saying that?
This is precisely why. Because I have encountered so many people trolling and filibustering on modern day debate, knowing full well this is exactly what you would do. And
no one that you were ever, no one you ever talked to on MDD
you're wasting the conversation. The conversation is a waste of time because you do not want to come to the interchange, the dialectic, in an adult manner. And it's
first of all,
it's not only obvious to me. It's not only obvious to the believers in here. It's obvious to all the unbelievers.
First of all, no one on MDD ever presented an argument to you.
Please don't overtalk.
When are you going to be done, man?
If you actually had the intellectual confidence in your position, you wouldn't be acting this way. So it's pointless to carry on because you're not dialoguing with me.
I'm only dialoguing with you. I'm talking about the argument.
Okay, we're done. Tom, we're done. You're wasting my time.
No one you ever talked to on MDD provided you with an argument.
Okay, Tom, you're wasting my time. Okay.
Why is it a waste of time to talk about the most important question in the history of humanity?
Tom,
and the only question. Why is that a waste of time?
You're wasting my time with this pathetic performance.
If it's so pathetic, I don't know why you don't just defeat the argument.
Yeah, and I think you're well aware of how bad this is. But
not only am I...
You think that if you keep up the act, that maybe you might convince somebody here. But even the atheists in here know how bad this is.
What's the act? I just asked you. I presented an argument,
Tom, we're done.
And I'm saying you can defeat it if you want.
Tom, I get better debate interaction out of 15 and 16-year-olds
Yeah, because you can talk about definitions with them.
No, in fact, sometimes even the younger teenagers give a better debate performance, even though I disagree with them, than some of the professional atheists that I've encountered on the AMA.
Have they ever provided you an argument?
Why are you over talking me? You're just doing on steroids what even the professional philosophers did. You're actually folding while putting up a pretense that you're not folding. So we're done. There's no point in talking with you any further.
Let me just say another thing. Here, everyone paying attention, including the Darth followers, listen to the answer to this. Darth, these supposedly great debates that you've had with 15-year-olds and professional philosophers, have you ever been presented an argument for the non-existence of the Christian God, like I have?
People have attempted to falsify the Christian God.
You didn't answer the question. You need to focus, Darth, and answer the question. Okay?
Okay. Yeah, you haven't actually presented a sound and valid argument against the Christian God's existence.
Go ahead and disprove it. We're here. We're all waiting.
Okay. Okay. Is it your position the Christian God does not exist because you don't know that he exists?
It is by your lights that the Christian God either exists or no God exists.
Is it your position?
You deny that? So it's possible another God exists?
Is it your position that the Christian God does not exist because were he to exist, you would know it?
I think that the argument goes through, and by extension, I don't believe.
Okay, that's not an answer to my question. Okay,
and it is an entailment that I believe no God exists.
You're making yourself look like the biggest horse's ass I've encountered in years.
That's weird because I'm not only going to post
this your YouTube, position.
But I think this is going to be one of the greatest Darth videos
all right,
ever.
Okay, all right, we're done. You're a moron.
It's just arguing you for content.
Yeah, he's just. This is, in fact, I didn't even imagine how pathetic Tom's performance would be. I knew it would be bad.
Yeah, I presented an argument.
Would you not overtalk me, please? Okay. Yeah, and I'm responding to you. I'm saying, is it your position that were the Christian God to exist, then you would know that he exists, but you, in fact, do not know that he exists?
That's your position.
Okay. Are you going to answer the question?
I don't actually believe that the Christian God is real.
Okay. All right. We're done. Okay. You're wasting my time. Okay.
Okay. Well, after you mute me or ban me or kick me or whatever, why don't you just go through the argument with someone who's not evasive?
Tom, we're done. I mean,
since you object to
this is the worst. This is one of the worst performances in years I've ever seen.
That sounds like a cope, but
no, it's not a cope at all. Okay.
Since
Tom, you're not going to get an acting award from the Atheist Actors Association.
Yeah, because there's no acting here. Listen, Darth.
Wow.
Since I'm such a horrible interlocutor, and I'm the problem here.
I have no interest in further dialoguing with you.
After this, why don't you continue and debunk the argument with the other people?
We're done, Tom. I'm trying to interact with you, and you refuse to do so. So we're done. You don't want to have an actual adult interchange. Okay.
I presented an argument. What's more?
Tom, we're done. Tom, we're done.
Brother, why do you fear the atheist?
The real question is, why does Darth fear?
Papa John's wanted to talk. Maybe we can unmute him. Oh, he's unmuted.
I 94 viewers, guys. 94 viewers. We did it. We did it, Reddit.
Why didn't you answer the question?
Yeah, we're not on Reddit.
The very best part of the debate was when Tom was asked to present an argument. Tom presented the premise. Darth then says to Tom that he needs to ground his fucking premises for some weird ass reason for the premise for the argument to be sound, which doesn't even make any sense.
This is amazing how even some of the sleaziest regulars on Tom Unbox's server will come in white knight for that abominable performance.
Yeah, Jovan's been banned for about 1.5 years, so that doesn't work either. Sorry, wrong again. I guess God didn't reveal that one to you, huh?
Yeah, it's pointless when somebody makes it clear that they don't want to have a dialogue, debate, or dialectic. So it's pointless.
If I give you an argument, does it matter what my worldview is as to whether or not it's sound?
No. Jovan, as I've told you before, you've attempted to interact with me in the past. I repeatedly told you before, if you continue to troll me, I will no longer talk to you. You persisted and you said you don't care. Don't ever talk to me again. I said, fine, you'll get your wish. So I will not dialogue with you, Jovan. You're a troll.
Let me just say another thing to everyone in the room. Not Darth. I know, Darth, you're not engaging me anymore. That's fine. I'll just address everyone else. Usually when debating a preceptor, one of the things that you should ask them very first, right off the bat, is you should ask them all the things that God has revealed to them, right? Because let's think about this, right? They've had special revelation from God where God literally beamed something into their head or had direct communication with that person.
Some special revelation.
That's a straw man.
That's either a lie or completely fabricated. I have yet to meet any presuppositionalist claim that God beams special revelation. When they talk about special revelation, they're talking about God communicating with various individuals through the course of human history, and that it has been recorded and preserved in the Christian scriptures.
Well, you think that everybody. You think that everybody.
He's not going to admit he was wrong on that.
You think that everybody.
This is amazing how you're just making up stuff.
You think that everybody innately knows that God exists when they're born.
Can you provide me?
Oh, they're born.
Can you provide me with one biblical precept?
Exactly, Matt. Yeah, I agree.
Who claims he gets special messages from God?
There's lots of people that claim that.
Who?
I bet you I can ask you a line of questioning, Darth, that makes you say that.
You're definitely making this up.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's an absolute lie.
Instead of presuppositional says beams.
Yo, Tom, what's up,
the
bro?
position.
I bet you. If
How you doing, man?
Questioning, I can get him to say that they beam him into his head.
I'm doing great.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I mean, Matt Slick says he had a special divine experience.
No, that's conversion. Numbats.
No, he had an experience.
That's different than general revelation.
I didn't say general revelation, bud.
Are you talking about the Holy Spirit?
You're supposed to be accurately representing precept. You're getting everything wrong. You don't even distinguish between special and general revelation. You're a complete idiot.
I didn't say general. I said special, bud.
General revelation. Everyone knows that God exists. That's general revelation.
That's not what he's talking
special
about.
Revelation and conversion.
Matt, are you aware of... Matt, can you hear me?
No, I'm addressing Tom. He's the one who used the term beaming, and he goes, no one's ever said that.
Look, if you take the issue with beaming, fine. I mean, like, what does it matter? Like, God directly...
You're talking about the innate knowledge of God, which is general revelation. That's Romans 1.
He's talking about dogmatism. He's dogmatic, which means that Darth is not going to take in any information that will change his viewpoint. He will reject it.
That's all he's addressing. He's supposed to be accurately representing the presuppositionalist position.
No, he means
he hasn't done so.
Matt Slick, if you're talking about Matt Slick, has literally said...
Matt Slick, you're talking about his conversion process.
No, Matt Slick has literally said that God, like, telepathically communicates with him. He's weird as shit.
No, believers pray to God.
No, like Matt Slick, it's over and above prayer. Matt Slick,
why are you using Matt Slick as like?
Why is he a part of this discussion?
Well, I don't know. Someone brought up Matt Slick and said he didn't say that, but Matt Slick has literally said.
You guys are running to the next 5 things down some other line.
Matt Slick has
no
said
relevance
God
to this.
Puts beliefs in his head.
Nothing to do with anything whatsoever.
Via the scriptures, he teaches us doctrine, truths, divine truths that are recorded in Scripture, which believers learn about. Grace and knowledge of their Lord and Savior, which is exactly what the Scripture says.
Okay, well, I'm going to leave, guys, and since Darth says he's
get
not
some new arguments.
Yeah,
there's
no need
this killer argument.
Actually, a worse train wreck than shallow Shannon Q ducklets.
Yeah, there's no need to get
your performance, Tommy.
Work on your overacting skills too.
Is obvious.
There's no need to
get
skills. There's no need to get new arguments when there's no need to get new arguments when the one argument I presented wasn't defeated.
What's your argument?
Nobody's fooled by what.
Well, when I try to unpack your argument, you just dance around it. Okay.
What are you talking? I was literally going premise.
Okay. You know, Tom. This is really just. I mean, it's beyond nauseating what you're doing.
What's your argument, Tom? I missed it.
I mean, this is why.
Can you lay it out really quickly?
Can we mute this over talking here? This is why I say that the vast majority of atheists that I encounter and that I observe on YouTube and on Discord are teenagers trapped in adult bodies. This is the kind of conduct that I would expect from a grossly immature teenager. And yet you're a grown man and you're performing this way. I mean, it's just like, and you have all your little white knighters here giggling and guffawing about what you're doing. You're not fooling you're not fooling one person in here that you're a sincere player in this.
This was pretty much.
You've just made a fool of yourself.
This was a complete one-on-one.
Stick to video editing. That's what you're good at. Like one guy living rent-free in your head all day long. Stick to that.
All I've heard for 40 minutes is ad hominems from.
Yeah, we had a one-on-one almost exclusively. I don't know what you're talking about, white knighters. I mean,
he just won't stop. Okay.
Wait, Tom, do you want to run the 20 minutes on that yesterday, or do you gotta go?
I asked for it.
Well, what I really want to do
really quickly.
Well, what I really wanted, like, I want to go edit this.
Give me
real quick and
Are you able to give me the gist or not? Just
so
get to the point.
If you're subscribed to Tom Rabbit, just I'll upload it very shortly. Okay, Matt.
By the way, did you get that, Tom Rabbit?